Mark Denham on Atom Radio.
Hello and welcome to the best bits of Atom Radio Drivetime podcast 36. We're on Atom Radio Monday to Friday. Listen online, atomradio.co.uk. Listen on the mobile via TuneIn, or you can also listen on iTunes Radio and smart speaker too. Plenty of ways to listen. Been a funny old week this week away from drive time here in Britain with all of the Brexit shenanigans going on and all that. That's been a funny old week. So hopefully this will lighten your week a little. On the way, we have a complete lack of editorial control. You've got top hair tips delivered to you by a bald man. Yeah. A thrilling bus ride, a stupid mum, a question about language, which is correct, why ladies think they're living in a man's world, what to wear when you're flying, and a very strange bucket list request. All that and more on this week's podcast.
Atom Radio, ooh yeah, playing the music you want to hear.
Mark Denham.
AtomRadio.co.uk. I want to be with you everywhere.
Atom Radio plays Fleetwood Mac and Everywhere, Dua Lipa and Swan Song. Mark with you on Monday's Drive Time. You may have seen across the weekend a slight, misprint in the Scunthorpe Telegraph, if we're being generous. They have now been forced to issue an apology for this after they printed the words for a male hen and also an alternative word for female bits. And they appeared on a death notice on its obituary page. It happened on page 35 of the paper, and it read, something, forename, please complete the following fields as you type. You will see a preview of your advert, something. Publisher Reach said it had started an investigation into the incident and that anyone who had a notice posted on the same page would be refunded. Many readers, however, took to Twitter to post pictures of the notice and voice their shock, some to voice their amusement. A Reach spokesperson said, we were testing the system to see if it would allow those words in, and unfortunately, it didn't get removed. Ironically, that word is in the town's name too. We do apologise to any customer that has been upset by this, and it was a one-off and will be checked more thoroughly in future. We take this very seriously and will formally investigate how it happened. So, yeah, this has happened on the obituaries page of all places. This advert has gone out. You've probably seen it across the weekend, but I would imagine the editor of the Scunthorpe Telegraph has had, quite a telling off.
Drive time with Mark Denham.
We're talking love and dating after 5 today. It's not even Valentine's Day, but we are. But first, though, hair. Now, I don't have any hair, all right? I'm a bald man, so I don't have any hair. But if you're trying to give your hair a flawless finish and you're using a hairbrush, you're doing it all wrong, says Patrick Wilson, a top celebrity hairstylist. He says you're doing it all wrong. You see, you don't use a hairbrush if you want a perfect hairstyle. You use a toothbrush, according to Patrick. Really? He says after styling the hair, spritz a small amount of hairspray onto a toothbrush and use the toothbrush to gently comb down flyaways at the parting. That's how you get your perfect hair, you see. Now, I haven't got any hair to try it on, so I can't really try that. But if you have got hair, try that tomorrow. Don't use the toothbrush you're going to brush your teeth with, though. That will be an absolute disaster.
Drive Time with Mark Denham.
Monday's Drive Time for Monday, the 11th of March on Atom Radio. So I will tell you the top tips on finding the one. When you have found the one, so when you listen later and you find the one, this is probably not what to do, all right? Okay, so most people do use internet dating now, and although you chat online, you never know what to expect when you turn up. You might meet the love of your life, you might realise there's no chemistry at all, in which case you probably go home and you don't talk again. Well, one lady, Kimberly Latham Hawksford, she sounds quite posh, doesn't she? Kimberly Latham Hawksford, she does sound very, very posh. She went on a date with a man 3 months ago, didn't hear from him after their coffee together. She didn't think much of it until last month when a notification with his name suddenly popped up on her phone. The man had got back in touch and at first apologised for the silence since their date, calling it totally unacceptable. He then, however, followed up his apology with a list of 15 things that Kimberly needs to improve herself. And he didn't hold back. So this is probably not the recommended approach to dating. I feel you could have made the date much better. And here's a few reasons why. I apologise if I offend you. He goes on to say, if you lost some weight, you'd look incredible, maybe about a stone or so. You're very pale. I know you aren't a fan of the sun, but a bit of fake tan won't hurt. You have quite big, so show off more. I think you need to wear clothes that suit your figure, maybe update your style, just so I'm not embarrassed to be seen with you. You need to dye your hair a normal colour and add extensions. Longer hair is more attractive. He goes on to tell her that she needs to look natural, while also telling her that she needs hair extensions and lip fillers, neither of which are natural. So yeah, I mean, that's just some of the stuff he sent her. I would imagine that this guy just needs to probably get stuffed, if I'm honest, because you know what? None of us have the right to tear into someone else like that. You just don't do it, you know. All you do is you say, okay, she wasn't for me. I didn't like her because, and you can say that yourself, and that's fine. If you want to judge someone like that, that's fine. You certainly don't go and say to them, hey, listen, if you lost some weight, you'd look incredible. Go away and lose a stone. Jog on, mate, whoever you are.
Drive time with Mark Denham.
Spiller Groovejet on atomradio.co.uk. Hello, if you've just got online, you're late. It's all right, though. I don't hold it against you. 6:07, Monday, the 11th of March. It is Mark with you until 7 o'clock tonight. I said I'd tell you my most annoying measurement. And don't ask me why this has just popped in my head. But you know when somebody says there are 10 sleeps until? Well, that's not a measurement, is it? By any stretch of the imagination, it is not a measurement because, you know, there are 10 days until or 10 nights until. That's true because day is going to follow night and night will follow day. 10 sleeps, though. What if, say there's 10 sleeps until holiday, but then you fall asleep in the afternoon and you have 2 sleeps in that day? Does that mean you go on holiday a day earlier? Or what if for some reason you get really, really stressed and you have a sleepless night? Does that mean you have to go on holiday a day later? No, it doesn't, because sleep is not a measurement. So if you're someone that says there's so many sleeps until, fix up. Sleeps is not a measurement.
Mark Denham.
atomradio.co.uk. 4:30, it is Tuesday's drive time. Police were called to an incident of public indecency on board a coach to Exeter. A couple have been arrested after they met on the National Express I don't know where it says they met, but anyway, this was heading to Exeter, and the couple met, stripped off and enjoyed each other in Devon. They say that they caught up with the couple after the driver screeched to a halt on the hard shoulder of the M25. 29-year-old man and a 32-year-old woman were arrested on suspicion of outraging public decency, said detectives. Oh dear. I wonder if they had their tickets checked.
Drive time with Mark Denham.
Atom Radio plays Daniel Bedingfield, and got to get through this. Earlier on today, it was announced that a derelict nightclub in Maidenhead has caught fire, and this started burning overnight, caused Maidenhead Town Centre to be closed off this morning, shopping centre closed for the day, roads closed, car parks closed and all that. And I was just thinking, as I was playing that, I probably did play that in that club in Maidenhead, because I did used to DJ there. So I'm thinking, I've probably played that song in that club, obviously when it was out, I'd imagine, like 2001, I probably played that. So, yeah, quite sad. I mean, obviously the building's been derelict for a little while now, but it is quite sad to think that it's obviously now absolutely and utterly gutted, although I believe it was sold to developers anyway. This is James on the big drive home, and she's a star. It's 4:37. Hello.
Drive time with Mark Denham.
A passenger jet had to go back to the airport after a mother on board forgot her baby. Why is this mum allowed a baby? Audio has been released showing the moment Saudi flight SV832 from Jeddah to Kuala Lumpur requested permission to return to King Abdulaziz International Airport. The pilot says, "May God be with us, can we come back or what?" Then he starts talking about protocols. They've never experienced anything like this before. The operator says the flight is requesting to come back. A passenger has forgot her baby in the waiting area, the poor thing. They then ask for confirmation of the reason they want to go back, and the pilot says, "We told you." A passenger left her baby in the terminal and refuses to continue with the flight. Now, the flight tracking radar did show the plane took off an hour late on Saturday. So is that because they then had to go back and get this baby? But I'm just wondering, like I'm a parent. I've never ever gone off and thought, I've forgotten something. I know I've forgot. Oh, my son, yeah, I forgot him. I've never ever thought that. It's just not something that's happened to me. This woman, complete idiot, poor child. Here's David Essex.
Mark Denham.
AtomRadio.co.uk.
Robert Palmer, Bad Case of Loving You. Hello, 4:07, Wednesday afternoon. Thank you, Ben. We'll see you back tomorrow at 1 o'clock. You got Mark with you now on Drive Time until 7. I'm going to head off and retweet today's little poll that I've got on Twitter. Today, this is something that I'm asking. Tea time. Is that time to put the kettle on and brew up, or is it dinner time? That's the question for today. What is tea time? Is it time to have a cuppa, or is it time to have dinner? That's the question. I will retweet that on our @UCATM Twitter. You can go there, follow the link and vote in that, and we'll get that sorted once and for all. I know what the answer is, to be fair, but I'm not going to influence it. This is Dua Lipa.
Drive Time with Mark Denham.
Drive Time for Wednesday on Atom Radio, and this is Mark with you until 7 o'clock tonight, decades after 7. Love songs after 11 tonight. We've got Lewis Capaldi to play for you in a moment. As well as Lewis Capaldi, you will hear John Travolta and Olivia Newton-John. You'll hear something from Coldplay as well, and more on the way. It's Ladies' Day at Cheltenham today. Saw earlier some lovely pictures of the ladies going into Cheltenham. You always see that, don't you? You see the ladies all dressed up, looking great as they go into Cheltenham. Well, most of them anyway. But then when you see them coming out of Cheltenham the other side of the day, they don't look quite as good, do they? What they should do is to put up photo booths. You go in and you go out, and you can compare the before and after shot. Travel news is on atomradio.co.uk. If you are heading home from Cheltenham, hopefully if you're heading home from Cheltenham and driving, you haven't been drinking all day.
Drive time with Mark Denham.
This is Atom Radio's Drive Time, very nearly 21 to 6 on Wednesday. You got Mark with you until 7 o'clock tonight. Brain teaser question for today. How many stars were there on the Confederate flag? If you know the answer to that, Facebook me, tweet me, or email me. Don't forget, while you're on our Twitter as well, check the poll that I've retweeted from my own Twitter. Today we're asking you tea time. Is that time for a cuppa, or is it time for dinner? Which one would you say tea time was? This story about a bride then. A bride is taken to a social forum to slam her bridesmaid. Bear in mind her bridesmaid therefore is her friend, for holding her burgeoning baby bulb during the wedding photos. The anonymous woman, believed to be from the US, explained her situation on a Reddit thread and accused her friend of deliberately trying to steal the limelight. In one of the first photos, I noticed Kate, so she's remained anonymous but happy to name her friend, was deliberately holding her belly so it was really obvious in the fabric of her dress. I asked her to stop holding her hands to show off her belly and just to pose like everyone else. I had to remind her a few more times before we'd finished taking the wedding party photos. Is she right or is she wrong? This lady is obviously pregnant and proud to be pregnant, and she's your friend. You should obviously be pleased for her, shouldn't you? Rather than moaning and all that. I know it's your big day and everything, but she's not the one getting married, is she? She's just the one having the baby. So, she's happy she's having the baby. You're happy you're getting married. Why is this such an issue? And the other thing is as well, why name your friend Kate when you've remained anonymous yourself?
Mark Denham.
AtomRadio.co.uk.
4:14 Thursday's Drive Time. Carolyn Criado Perez has written a new book, and the whole subject of this new book is how she believes that we are still living in a man's world. Her belief is that we're living in a man's world because the average smartphone is too big for ladies' hands and a smaller phone. Also says that, what else? Chilly offices. She's saying that office temperatures are too cold for women. Wear a cardigan. And then the only one that has any substance to it, she says that cars are designed for men. By that, what she actually means is that when they do crash testing and stuff like that, they test the seat at an average distance away. Okay, so and then they're saying that women sit really, really, really close to the wheel, and when the airbag goes off, it can cause internal damage, and it's not tested properly, and this, that, and the other. So she says that the gender gap is nowhere near over because of big phones and cold offices. It's a bit much.
Drive Time with Mark Denham.
Saturn Radio from Slough in the United Kingdom, playing up and down England, Scotland, Ireland and Wales. And, of course, all around the world as well. Now, it's Thursday's Drive Time. We've got the headlines on the way for you. Making the news today, Emily O'Connor from Birmingham went on a flight and was told that she was told she had to cover herself up. She's 21. She was on holiday, or she's going on holiday to Tenerife on March the 2nd. She comes from Birmingham. She was told to cover up or leave a Thomas Cook flight to Tenerife because she was wearing a black top and orange trousers. The airline has since apologised for the incident, but has pointed out its appropriate attire policy. She appeared on TV this morning, where the guest, who was also on at the same time, claimed the top, which she says is a crop top, is actually a bra. I have to say, to me, if I was to look quickly, I'd say it was like a big bra. Obviously, you can get like more revealing bras, but I'd say this was a big bra rather than the crop top if I look quickly. But then I wouldn't say you can't go on holiday because you're wearing that. You know, it's her choice. You can't see anything. Cannot see anything at all. She took a picture of herself landing in Tenerife, which she stuck up on social media. But, she's basically been told that you've got to get changed. Now, on Twitter, she went on Twitter this morning. On Twitter, that is not a crop top. Why would you even go out with just a bra on? If she'd held my flight up, I'd be fuming. Another person has then gone on to say, that is not a bra, silly woman. There's nothing wrong with that outfit. Somebody else has said, no, that is a bra. Somebody else, she wouldn't have seen the terms and conditions in the in-flight magazine. That's where they are. The appropriate dress policies in the in-flight magazine before she got on board the plane. Somebody else is saying, sick of seeing that bra. Just put a jacket on and move on. And then another person, there isn't anything wrong with this. So it's a controversial topic. Is it a bra or is it a crop top? This is like that, is it black and blue or is it white and gold or whatever it was? This is like that. Is it a crop top or is it a bra?
Mark Denham.
The music just turns me on.
Autumn Radio.
I was just thinking about Emily O'Connor from Birmingham. She's gone on the flight and been told to cover up or get off. She's then got on the TV where Twitter has either backed her or absolutely gone to town on her. The one good thing is at least she wasn't afraid to make a tit of herself.
Drive time with Mark Denham.
On the way, by the way, between now and 7, the differences between schools. An American living in London has broken down the differences between American schools and British schools, okay? So there's right, before I do that, there is one big thing I don't get, okay? You can still go to sixth form, all right? You can do sixth form. If someone says, like, what are you doing? Oh, I'm in sixth form. But then, that used to make sense because when you started secondary school, you'd start in first form, second form, third form, fifth form, and you did your GCSEs in fifth form. You then went on to do your A-levels in sixth form. You had lower sixth and upper sixth, right? But now they have year 7, 8, 9, 10 and 11 at secondary school. So why do they still call it sixth form? Because it's clearly year 12 and year 13 now. Why would it be sixth form when you don't have a first, second, third, fourth or fifth form anymore? Makes no sense, does it?
Mark Denham.
Atom Radio, online 24 hours a day. Residents of the care home in Bristol were asked what they'd like to do. They'd asked if they wanted a wish. Some wished for a ride in a Rolls Royce, some asked for a hand massage, but Anne Brokenshaw, who's 104, said that she wanted to be arrested instead and taken into care. She suffers with dementia. She lives in the Stokely care home. She said, my wish is to be arrested. I'm 104 and I've never been on the wrong side of the law. The wish was then listed at a co-op store and will now be coming true after policing teams in Stoke Bishop agreed to oblige. Next week, she will go into custody for the first time in her life. I'm not really sure, if you could have anything, say you're 104 and you could wish for anything and it's going to come true, make it a reasonable wish. Would it be to get nicked? I'm not really sure at 104. Your nick love is quite what I'd want, like being 104 and having your frail little wrists handcuffed and everything, taken into custody, wouldn't be my idea of a dream, I have to say. Something from Rita Ora on the way for you on the big drive home this Friday after Steely Dan reading in the years. This is Atom Radio at 13 to 5.
AtomRadio.co.uk.
You know what? Going back to that bus journey, I can kind of understand that because there's a thrill, isn't there? There is a thrill. What I can't understand, though, speaking of transport, is the mum who made a plane turn around because she forgot her baby. I can fully understand why you'd want to go back and get your baby had you done that. What I can't understand is how you forgot your baby in the first place. I mean, I have a 3-year-old son. I've taken him out many times and I've never, ever, ever forgotten him. And never. It just doesn't happen, does it? You know, it's not like, you know, you could perhaps leave your briefcase on the train or something because you get up and you're in a rush. No, surely your child is like an extension of you. If you leave, the child leaves with you. Come on, lady, what's wrong with you? That is it, though, for this week's podcast. Episode 36 is a wrap. Thank you so much for listening. Make sure you subscribe, then you'll get notified when we do episode 37 next week, another week of the best bits of drive time. You can always listen live every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday and Friday. We're on atomradio.co.uk, on iTunes Radio and on smart speaker as well. And if you've got a mobile phone, take your headphones, plug them in and fire up TuneIn and search for us there. Have yourself a great week. We'll see you back next week for a podcast or live on Monday.
Atom Radio. Ooh, yeah. Playing the music you want to hear.
Mark Denham.
AtomRadio.co.uk.